That was like the worst attempt at arson ever. This is not the guy you want burning your house down for you. Amateurs. C4 Corvettes are the reason the Corvettes are great today. That was a stepping stone car for General Motors. The C4 Corvette paved the way for the C5, C6, and on to the newer models. Was it perfect? No, but it was a great car still, and it doesn't get the attention that they usually get, but now they're going up in value. I may have had a little something to do with that, but still, preaching my case. Back in Rabbit's younger days, and this is before I was banned off eBay, just to give you how long ago this was, me and my first wife were riding down to see her folks for the holidays. It was about this time of year. We're riding down the road, and they live in York, South Carolina, which is right there at the North Carolina-South Carolina line. So we're riding through York. York's a really small town. It's got a little lake in it, and that's about it. You know, when you buy and sell cars and you're flipping cars, you're always looking. You don't take a day off. So here we are riding to see Grandma and Grandpa. I see a little finance company just right off the road, and there's a good-looking black C4 Corvette parked behind the finance company. And as a rule, if a car's parked behind a finance company, it's a repossession. I said, So before, taking pictures and screenshotting it or whatever, Googling it, I wrote down the name of the finance company. I found out who owned the car. I called the following Monday, and sure enough, it was a repossession. It was a 1985 Corvette, black on black. It had 39,000 actual miles on it. And she said, there's only one problem. It had a small fire. A lot of times when you have a car with an interior fire, it's one of two things. Either an idiot put a radio in, or the payment book caught on fire, which more times than not is usually the case. Sure enough, it's clean as a pin, a 39,000 mile Corvette, just like any C4 you ever see. Interior was decent, except for the passenger seat had a burnt spot, and the glass top was burnt. Like you could tell they tried and it just went out. Synthetic leather apparently doesn't burn. And it was so obvious too, that because it's in the middle of the seat, and those Corvettes didn't even have power seats on the passenger side. Like there's nothing under it. The rest of the interior was gorgeous in it for the C4 and the year and everything like that. And I'm like, man, I bought this car for $2,500. It drove. I drove this thing with the smell of burnt plastic, leather, like Rick James was the one on fire in the passenger seat. So we get this car and we drive it back. The smell's horrendous. I'm riding down 85 with the windows down. Car runs and drives out well. Digital dash works, which is unheard of in early C4 Corvettes. Car drives, squeaks and rattles just like every C4 Corvette in the world does. So we get it back to the shop, and you know me, I know everybody that knows everybody with these cars. Got me a brand new seat for it. Had to buy a door panel because it melted it a little bit. Got me a new glass top for it. Added me a 39,000 mile Corvette. I love it. Good looking car. I took pictures of it, put it on everybody's favorite auction site, posted it for sale. I sold it for $9,500 7 days later to a nice man in Houston, Texas. He wanted his Corvette. He paid his quick deposit, PayPal'd in. He said, hey Rob, I can fly into GSP, which is our local airport, 8 o'clock Saturday morning. I said, super, this is Friday, lunchtime. Super, I'll meet you at the airport in your Corvette. He said, he's excited, everybody's happy. He's paying cash for the car. My wife, bless her heart, my ex-wife, she couldn't drive to save her life from hell. I bought her a new Tahoe. And she was backing out of the driveway, and I was driving this black Corvette. I'm excited because I lived about 10 minutes from the airport, so I just drove it home. Go zip up to the airport, sell it, find me a ride back, I'm good. She backs out of the driveway, and the Reese hitch on the Tahoe catches the bumper perfect on the Corvette. She backs into it running about 20 miles an hour, just killed the front bumper cover on it. Now keep in mind, this is 6 o'clock in the evening. We're 14 hours from delivery. I saved her life that day. I saved her from being killed because I walked away. Smoked about a half pack of cigarettes. I came back. I said, Rob, you're smarter than this. Chill out. I called my C4 buddy up, the same guy I bought the seats and door panels from. He said, yeah, I got a front bumper cover. I said, it's not black by any chance, is it? No, it's yellow. I go pick up a yellow bumper cover. It's 8 o'clock at night at this point now. I'm calling every paint butcher shop I know, trying to bribe, beg somebody to paint this bumper cover on this Vette. I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna have to tell the guy, just back the deal down, say, listen, something happened, can you come another day or whatever? I'm like, hell no, I'm not gonna do that. I could not bring myself to do that. If I gotta color this bumper with a damn Sharpie, I'm not gonna do that. And then it hit me. A good friend of mine, his dad is a great painter, just an all-around good body man. He's a retired guy. I called him up. He said, hell yeah, bring it on by the house. So I stick the bumper cover in the back of the Corvette and it won't clear. I have the hatch up, everything going down the road, 10 o'clock at night now at this point, to this man's house. We pull in, I open up, there's about 10 people in his garage. They're all drinking beer, sitting around, they're all 3 sheets to the wind. He goes, she got it good. Leaning back and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, let's get the bumper on this thing, let's get some paint on it. So I start taping the car off and bagging the rest of the car because the car had gorgeous paint on it. We pulled the bumper cover off of it. We put the yellow bumper cover on to make sure it fits right. The rest of the car was bagged up. Next thing you know, I started sanding. I was Scotch-Briting the bumper down, getting it ready to paint the bumper cover itself, and he's over here mixing paint and drinking beer. We start putting a little black on it. Crap, I spilled my beer in it. Sand that spot down, wait for it to flash, sand that spot down, go back to it. About 2 o'clock in the morning, the bumper was done painting. Well, it has to dry. So about an hour after that, about 3:30, I got back to my house with the car, ready to go. I grabbed me a short cat nap. I apologized to my wife at the time, made me a big cup of coffee and drove to the airport, and that man got in his Corvette that he absolutely loved and drove it back to Houston, Texas. And that right there is probably the hardest sell in the last day on a C4 Corvette I've ever tried in my life.